So hey guys, welcome back to a new video of this channel. So in the previous video I gave a little exercise. So the twist in that was that I gave you, wait a minute, yeah, you are not allowed to use this thing. So the trick was just this, uh, and you put a space after this, and you do this. So it was very simple, but it was just a little twist. So yeah, so in this today's video we'll be learning about variables and data types. So in programming, variables are really important because you need to take an input from a user, then you store it, then you perform certain operations on it. So it's really important. So let me show you the two types of data types. Wait a minute, let me show you an image. Yeah, so these are the data types in Java. So there are two types of data types, primitive and non-primitive. So your primitive data types are those which do not involve any certain objects. If you don't know what is an object is an instance of a class. So we'll not go into that object. We will just study primitive data types for this video, right? So yeah, wait a minute, let me make a new file. Let me import the main method. Yeah, so fine. So let's study about the first boolean. So boolean is a conditional data type, which means if you type boolean dot a equals to true, right? So boolean data types store two types of values, only two types. One is true and the other is false, right? So these are the two types of data types. If I want to print, wait a minute, yeah, I print it, it's showing true. Alright, so remember, if you entering a boolean value into a boolean data type, so make sure your t is small, because Java is case sensitive. It will not recognize your capital T. Make sure you do this, right? Let me comment out this. And now we have our numeric. Alright, so we got a char equals to G. So the character data type store only one character in it. It cannot store like this. Wait a minute. Yeah, you see it's getting an error. So this is the character data type, and if you want to like do this little thing I want just to do what I did. Yeah, so we got our two char data types. So what if I want to combine it? You can do this, a plus t. I think it should work. Oh, what is it? Yeah, so okay, alright, so I'll not do this, right? So character stores only one value in it, and then we have our integral, integer, floating point. So we have byte, we have short, we have int, we have long. Yeah, so these are the two integer which do not involve any decimals. Alright, so these are the integral data types, and we also have a certain range to use this data type. For example, let's say short in Java. So you see it it has a minimum value of this and a maximum value of this. So if I want to just make a short variable a, right, if I want to do this, it's perfectly fine, but if I want to do this, it's showing an error because what is it is going out of range, right? So yeah, this is the, if I do this, it works, right? So there are certain ranges in which we are allowed to use a certain data type. So if you want to just there is also a formula for this. Wait a minute. Yes, you see, this is the formula for it. If you want to do it, you can just do it, but like we mostly use integers. Like you can just do any work in integers. If you're working on a large project, I mean a huge project, then you can use long. It's nothing like very different, I would say. Then we have this int. So I mostly use int in Java. Yeah, so you see, by default int is a 32-bit signed, just the minimum value of this and a maximum value of this. So yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, so we are getting this from byte, we have this, for short we have this, for int we have from this to this. So this is a quite large number, so you can perform any operation, right? So you can also remember these size of these data types which they take while you are making a Java program. So char I told you about, bit, this. Now let's come to float, right? Wait a minute. Float a j 9.124, right? So what is it? I think float only takes this. Oh, I also need to put f. Yeah, so remember, when you make a float, you want to put an f because float is not recognized as the main decimal data type. And if I want to do a double t, so float point this, right? So I can do it, but if I want to do it the same thing in it, it's giving error. So to avoid this error, make sure you do f. So it won't print this f, it is just that you are telling this JVM that we are using it as a float, we are not using it as a double. So where type print man, yeah, so this f will not be executed, it is just, yeah, you see, f is not there, guys. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Now let's come to, oh, we did all of it, right? So yeah, so now I'll be telling you to converting a particular data type to another data type, right? So we come here, we type int. So remember, when you make it, declare the data type first, then the reference, the name, then the particular value, right? So you have two. So I want to add this 32 to a float. So if I do it, I see float t equals to f is important, and sout u plus t. Oh, it's going correct. Wow, I think it, wait a minute, if I want to add a, yeah, this is a pretty good example, a char t with the value g. So I want you to convert this to int. So how will you do it? So you do this, you put int, you put wait a minute, int, you put a bracket, then you put a bracket to t, Yeah, so we will get the value of this. So yeah, the value of this is 103. So I want you to add this to an integer which is 32, right? So you do 32, and I guess the answer will be 35 if my maths is not wrong. Yeah, this is 135. So it's a pretty great technique, like when you're working on a project and you are given that the input must be a string and you wanted to convert it to, what do we say, an integer, and process it and do other things. So yeah, it's a really great technique. It is known as typecasting. So I wanted to have a quick recap today. What we learned: we learned about int, char, short, byte, long, uh, then we did typecasting, right? So yeah, these are the things we did today, and here I have another exercise for you. I want you to convert an int j34 to a char, right? I want you to do this, and I want you to type the answer in the comment box. So thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.